it's KaguraFireCosplay here for my April installment of my reading log, part 1 at least. So to get started, I read Star Wars The Last Command, the third book in Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy from March 31st, 2023 to April 1st, 2023. And we'll recap on the series thus far. You have what was supposed to be the sequel Star Wars series following Luke, Leia, Han with a bunch of new characters in the mix as well. Now in this book you have a lot of Mara, a lot of Luke, which I'm mildly obsessed with. It's amazing. But there's some new intriguing plot points, such as how far Thrawn is willing to go with all that he's doing. You have some more of Leia and Han's kiss, which is really cute. And you just see a lot of the way that Mara's story progresses with this, how people trust her and don't trust her at the same time, how she interacts with other people, how she is processing her own mental health and everything that happened. But she does end up teaming up with eventually at different parts of the story, adding to this really interesting dynamics and moments. It's also interesting to see how Luke trusts her so much when he's at the most risk, but it's really interesting to see. You have some interesting party moments, and then just overall, I can't say too much else because of spoilers. It's the final installment of the trilogy, but I do think this is the best part of the trilogy, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The next book I read was Legendborn by Tracy Deonn from April 3rd, 2023 to April 11th, 2023. So, the story follows a young girl as she's going to a new school, and when she's getting to that new school, there's some sketchy things going on that aren't quite adding up. But while she's embarking on this new adventure, she's also processing the trauma of losing her mother and all that, along with all of this new stuff. But as you do have a lot of that trauma coming through, there's a lot of unhealthy coping and covering that, then you do get into the sketchy magic stuff that's going on, and which I do find has a little bit hard to take down, the magic system and all that type of thing. And this is coming from someone who loves Arthurian legend and has a little bit of problems with it, but if you know, you know. So it's just interesting to compare all the different aspects of that to this magic system. You have some rivalry in there. That's a lot of fun. You do see healthy views on therapy to a degree. Like, she's not too happy about it, but she does get it, so woo. I will say the base romance represented in this book I'm not a huge fan of, which is kills me to say, but I feel like there's just some red flags in there that could have been avoided and made it a lot more of a healthy, natural relationship. And then Estelle's like the best character, and I'll get more into that when I talk about the second book. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the romance part. But overall, it's an interesting story. If you like Arthurian legend, it could be interesting. Just don't expect what you know of it, if that makes any sense. The next book I read was The 12 Dancing Princesses by Jenni James from April 11th, 2023 to April 18th, 2023, following the same series that I've been talking about for a while now. So obviously, 12 Dancing Princess, you follow one of them and her friendship with this, I believe, gardener type boy. And and how these girls, or the princesses, are falling asleep, then waking up with their shoes ruined and all that type of thing. And there's also heard from some of their relatives that are also royalty that this is also happening to their young girls as well. But overall, I will say, because these stories are pretty short, I did want more character development and more development of the story, because it is an interesting take on it. It just didn't fully develop how I wanted it to. You do have quite a bit of mystery and try and kind of solve the mystery, which you haven't really seen in the other fairy tale installments thus far, but that's really fun. I love a good mystery. And there are like fairly high stakes for this too. It's not one where they just gotta like fall in love and be good. Like they gotta get through all of this. And then it is servant ex-royalty, which is also kind of fun. It's a little bit different than other things we've seen as well, with all being nobles or royalty and whatnot. But overall, pretty cute. I'm going to take a sip of tea, because I came prepared with tea this time, so I don't completely destroy my voice after 10 minutes, but... Whoa, okay. The next book I read was Mary Poppins by P.L. Travers. It started April 13th, 2023 to April 25th, 2023. So obviously it's the original story of Mary Poppins that the Disney classic film is based off of. But I don't know, I was just curious. I rewatched the original Mary Poppins and Saving Mr. Banks around this time, and I just felt the need to also actually read it, and my library had it, so why not? But obviously it follows a nanny, Mary Poppins, as she takes care of these two a little bit troublesome children, and filled with a bunch of magic and shenanigans, but it's a lot of fun. Now, this interpretation of her compared to the movie is much more down to earth, a lot less of that magical persona. Then I know that P.L. Travers didn't like Mary Expert, but I don't know, I felt in the movie, I still feel it from the book, but that's just me. And I think that they're super cute. Have Mary trip around the world and her learning through everything, which is how she's able to give so much to these kids. I feel like that's such a beautiful thing as well. There's a lot of parallels from Mary Poppins to P.L. Travers' life that is just so fascinating as an author that I really appreciate. Then they meet a lot of characters along the way too that I don't see in the film, so seeing all those new characters was fun. And then it's just class at its finest. I mean, she's such a classy character, classy lady teaching these children, and it's just really cool to see. And then I read The Legend of Zelda, Minish Cap, and Phantom Hourglass of the Legendary editions of the manga by Akira Nakawa from April 14th, 2023 to April 17th. Now, obviously this is retellings of the two games, so Minish Cap follows a young Link as the Zelda and the town are basically turned to stone, and he finds this little talking hat thing that helps him get through it and save Hyrule. And then Phantom Hourglass is following Wind Waker, as you have Toon Link as I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a mess. Let me take a tea break. But Phantom Hourglass is the sequel to Wind Waker, as the pirate ship that Link and Tetra are on gets put sort of into the cyclone. Link's thrown off and has to go find everyone. And you also have Lindbeck, who is one of the most underrated characters in the Zelda franchise, and I will talk on that front. His theme is incredible. Go listen to his theme. please do. But in terms of Minish Cap, overall the art style is just super cute and super fun. Seeing Zelda and Link's friendship in this is really cute just because it is very innocent, which you don't see often with Zelda because usually it's a lot of high stakes. Then you also see Zelda being pretty brave for what's going on with her and a little bit less damsel in distressy, which is nice. And then the hat's amazing. A lot of great comedy moments in this. Oh, my cat's over here, but yeah. Then Phantom Hourglass. Obviously, there's Tetra. I love Tetra. She's one of my favorite incarnations of Zelda. Then, again, I've mentioned Lindbeck. I love Lindbeck. Then, Link going through a lot of things, continuing on from Wind Waker and his family, all that type of thing. And then you also have quite a bit of, kind of his relationship with Tetra and the other pirates and how that's continued on from Wind Waker. But it's great. I mean, both are... I haven't played Minish Cap, I've played Phantom Hourglass, and it's great. But both are great stories that are retold amazingly. It has really cute art style, really great humor. It's just a lot of fun all around. So, if you're a Zelda fan, definitely check it out. And then I read Rapunzel by Jenni James, same series, from April 18th to May 1st. So, this obviously is following the fairy tale Rapunzel, where you have her and the prince character as both childhood friends, and then eventually he has to go off to school for several years and pretty much leave her, but promises to come back on her birthday to celebrate with her then in a few years. I don't remember if it's 16 or 18, but one of the milestone ones. And then, but on her birthday, a witch comes and says, like, you're mine now. We made a deal with your parents a long time ago that you'd be mine because they stole stuff from me. So then she gets locked in a tower and pretty much gather the rest. But the childhood friends aspect is really cute. You have some interesting plot points, such as the Princess Pendant, which follows some spoilers that are fun to unravel. Then you also have Rapunzel's mental health as she is locked in that tower, dealing with all of that. You have some thoughts to the Princess and the Frog book from before. There's a poem in it that follows that. And then, yeah, there's just some interesting plot points that I can't talk about, which, for once. So, if you want a little bit of a different take on it, then definitely check it out. Okay, and then I read The Help by Kathryn Stockett from April 21st to 25th. Now, I had seen the movie previously before reading this and thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it has one of the most iconic lines of all time, and then obviously the performances in that film are incredible. There's some Viola Davis, Octavia Spencer, but just really great girls over around. But it follows a girl writing a book on the help of Jackson, Mississippi, aka going through all the racism of the 60s, of how Black people are treated, especially within homes of these families, because they are raising these children. And it's, yeah, so going through learning about all these characters as she writes this book. But, you do have a lot of the racist themes that come across, not themes, just historically, all the racism that happened during that time period, which is always important to discuss so we don't fall into those same patterns and mistakes. But it's also incredibly sad. You do have you do see a lot of the strength that these women have throughout the story, especially since it was also a sexist time as well. So seeing all of that come through as well, of how they overcome and support themselves and their families through all of this. then each woman is also distinctly different. It doesn't matter that they're all in similar situations, they all are still distinctly their own character, which I appreciate as well. And overall, it is pretty similar to the movie. There's only like a few scenes that are changed. So if you like it, you'll still like it. And then on a lighter note, you also have the iconic pie scenes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then please read it or watch the movie. Do both. But it's incredible. It's one of the best lines out there. Oh, by Cat. Okay. But it's a great book. It's a great film. Definitely check it out if you want historical fiction that is telling perspectives you don't always get. And then I'm gonna end off here just because I know I have 2 more books from April, but both of them are fairly lengthy, so there's a lot of writing I had to do with them as well, which you'll see. But until then, see you next time for part 2 of April. Bye.